Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Lil L, and this is the Synch Era Podcast. I'm the host, I'm the DJ, I'm the MC, everything. And we got a special guest for the third episode. You know,
Yeah.
you already know. This guy. We got some things in the works. We done worked on
Mhm.
plenty of occasions. You know,
Mhm.
and he just recently dropped a new 19-track album. Give it up
Yes.
for TrippplesiX.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. What's up? Trip Six?
Same old, same old.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Tell me how you feeling right now about your recent release, man.
Pretty good. It's actually been received really well on Spotify, which is something that's shocking for me because Spotify is where I tend to do the worst.
Mm-hmm.
On like the first day, I think it got like 170 streams.
Oh wow. Hey, that's
Yeah,
whew.
which it's more than what I usually get, so I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have two music videos that I do plan on releasing soon.
Cool.
And I have three anime music videos that I plan on getting made and released soon.
Oh, nice. So yeah,
It,
talk about this release. Tell them the title. Talk about this album, man. Give them some insight, info.
okay, so it's called Sad Boys Inferno Inc. And Sad Boys is a group name between me and my brother Alex Koich, and his rap name is just Koich. It's just his last name. I've known him for a long time. We go back, but we weren't always friends. We just knew each other like acquaintances. And then just like a year or so ago, we just really popped off and became brothers. And he never really made music. Like he made some music here and there. So me being a musician, I was like, yo, you should make a song with me.
Yeah.
So we made a song, and that song was stretched to an EP at one point. And then that EP got stretched to this album because I just kept pushing him and pushing him to make more music with me.
Yes.
And um, it's really about like our personal hell because every single track has to do with like personal stuff with us. Because Inferno is from a book that I'm not 100% sure of the name of, but it means like a stage of hell.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's Sad Boy's personal hell. And then ink, we do plan on making it like a merch line, so that's the reason for the ink.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's really about our personal problems and a bunch of stuff like that. And for the intro where I'm talking, I do like to do that with most of my albums, where I like have just a talking introduction. Like on my first album, Notebook, I did that. I did not do that on 666 Till Death, but
Mm-hmm.
I brought it back to this one because my friend that got me into rap passed away in the making of this. So I wanted to honor him and let some things out that I didn't get to say out into the music for everybody to hear, especially for people that knew him so that they can also listen to it and like
Right.
let their feelings out with it too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Um. How can you explain the details on like recording and as far as like the beats and all that stuff? The like the behind the scenes production behind this album, because as you told me
Okay.
before, it took as far as the process took some time, took a certain time frame.
Yeah. So we were working on it for over a year. Um, Now some tracks aren't that old. Um, some tracks are. So I think Sad Boys and Panic are the two oldest ones.
Okay.
Um, and Sad Boys, for the longest time, it didn't have Moy's feature in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, working on the mixing and all that and just getting everything prepared. And then I sent it over to Moy and let him write his part. And then we just kind of did this thing where we were just so busy with our own personal lives, we never really got the chance to record till a lot later.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of glad about that, because really for that entire year, I would listen to a track I would listen to all those tracks once every single day, and then mix it like again. Like I would touch up the mixing every single day again. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
I would be constantly learning things to make my sound better, and then I would imply that in on the songs, and then I'd really like how it sounds, so then I'd take off with that and then like
Yeah.
throw it in other songs. So yeah,
Nice.
it's really like it took a year, like a really long time, and I've been really accurate with every song, making sure everything was perfect.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Um, how would you describe like your sound? Because your sound is like something like, I feel like for me personally, on the note, like of course it has, you know, its emotions, which is perfectly fine. But I feel like
Yeah.
also it has a certain like mechanics to it, like a certain, you know, um certain expressions that, you know,
Hmm.
certain people, you know, like imagery that certain people can, how you carve it out and how you express it.
Hmm. So to kind of come with that, when I write my music, I like put real life stuff into it and like behind my lyrics. So, but the way that I write lyrics is weird, because I don't like, a lot of people with emotional music or sad stuff, they'll straight up put what they're going through in the lyrics. But what I like to do is I like to put what I'm going through in the lyrics, but make it abstract so that the people that are listening can imply their own things into that and make it relate to them, even if it's not what I'm going through.
Nice.
And for my sound, I I have a lot of big rap influences, and since I've been a musician for 11 years, and the way that I kind of operate since I'm all self-taught is I have a big list of influences on many different instruments that I like take their sound and I make it my own. Like I'll blend a bunch of different sounds and I'll like make my own out of it.
Nice.
Kind of paying homage to them, but not like copying either, because I don't want to be the next Suicide Boys. I don't want to be the next X. I don't want to be the next Juice World. I want to be the next me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Um, so the question just came to mind. As far as uh your journey of music, how long have you been, you know, it doesn't even matter whether it's just rap, mixing, engineering, you know, whatever, because I
Hmm.
know you're like you do great on the drums as well. How long
Yeah,
has your journey been involved in music? Like when did it start?
really, it's weird because music has always been in my life. Even when I wasn't creating my own music, I was a big singer when I was a kid. I would sing songs on the radio. I would sing everything, and I remember being a little kid playing on the Wii, playing Guitar Hero, and I had the drum set, and something about that, I would just dream of playing on stage and, having my own music. And now I'm here actually playing on stage and playing my own music. So
Yeah,
really music has been my whole entire life. That's the way that I look at it.
nice, nice, nice. Um, as far as like your production, because with this with
Hmm.
this with this with this album, like I said to you um before, you know, we started this, it's like the cover and then the music behind it, it just
Hmm.
matches so perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
and like I'm like a big like visionary imagery guy. So when I look at the cover, and when I look at like and I hear the music, as far as like, you know,
Hmm.
the beats and all that stuff, and the vocals and everything, it's like I can tell that you put every ounce of what you want to put into this project.
Yeah.
Like like
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
can like how great does that feel to be able to put every inch of effort that you want into a project for you?
It's great because I'll listen to the beats over because there are beats on there that are from YouTube, because some of the producers I work with are YouTube producers.
Mhm.
So, I'll listen to the beat, and after, like, I'll listen to the album now and I'll listen to the beat and I'll try to think of how I would write that differently, and I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I know that I don't think I would want to hit that another way because I like the original so much, that's how I know that I put every ounce of what I wanted into
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there are some songs that I've made where, like when I was younger, that I would listen to a part and I was like, I like that, but I could have done something different here. So I made sure that I listened to it a million times over to get rid of those I could have done something different here moments.
Amazing. Amazing. Hey y'all, letting
Yeah.
y'all know that this album gonna be in the description. By the time this drop, this album gonna be in the description and all it's on all platforms. It's
Yep.
Spotify, Apple, all plats. So y'all go and
Yep.
check it out. Whoever listening, watching this, check it out. Check it,
Hmm.
man, check out. So I had to plug that in. So they go check it out,
Yeah.
plug it in. But as far as because you are in the
Yep.
NWI scene. So
Yep.
what are your influences around the NWI scene? And also who the people
Um,
that you worked with in the NWI scene?
okay, so shout out Moy, shout
Hey.
out Intel the Brain,
Mm-hmm.
shout out Mike Over. Uh, the list goes on and on. I try to make friends with every rapper and every artist that I can in NWI. And you and Moy had talked about this before. There are people
Mm-hmm.
that don't have it right. So I can't push myself to stay around those people. So I only work and stay around the people that are good in this area. So all those people that I shouted out, and there's many more people, they're obviously on the side that I think is the true NWI, and you're more NWI than people that I know. So yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all y'all always give me my flowers. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's because for me, honestly, I'm gonna jump in here. Um, and the reason why I asked that is because like just to shed light, because this is the NSYNC era. This is you know, the Northwest Indiana movement. Of course, we open to, I mean, of course, I, did an interview with, people, outside the movement as well, but also
Yeah.
it's also to shed light on how, in spite of, everything, it's still beauty within the land. And,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and that's why, because it's like I said before, it's just so much talent. But
Yeah.
as far as, okay, you know what? We gonna go there today. We're gonna go there today. We're
All
gonna go
right. Yeah,
there.
that's fine. That's fine.
As far as the influence, okay, because we just had the Floral Fever. We just had the Floral Fever 2
Yep.
concert, which was oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, was amazing. Like what
Yep.
was like super amazing. Like I'm like I still got chills. It's only been a week. By the time this interview was recorded, it's been a week since it
Hmm.
happened. But like
Yeah.
as far as the camaraderie and as far as the type of shows that are are being performed in
Hmm.
NWI, how was that and as far as you participating in them, because of course we both participated in
Yeah.
in these concerts and these shows. How do you personally feel about like how well the sets and the bills are put together with the shows? There's so much, but as far as the ones that's in that community that we are in.
So I think the community that we're in, we have like such a tight, it's like a big family almost. That's the way that I look at it. And with the artists, we really pull our weight with the show. With our group, we really know how to throw a show.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I gotta say. And that's not even on anything like cocky,
Mm-hmm.
but we all try to like get people into our music, and that's the thing about shows. Like you can flex all you want on stage, you can do whatever all you want on stage, you can play no like you can play 1,000 instruments on stage, but if you're not getting crowd participation with you, you're not going to have a good show. And that's the way that I look at it.
Man,
But
that's that. You know, keep going. I'm enjoying it. Keep
yeah,
going. I'm not trying to interrupt you. Keep going.
yeah, no, you're
Talk,
fine.
talk, talk.
One thing I know a few, and I'm not going to particularly name bands or name people,
Mhm.
but a lot of things that I don't like is people persist on just playing covers for their sets, like at a show. I am a person that honestly, I don't like playing covers. I don't like being in cover bands. I don't like doing any of that because it's like if I wanted to hear that song, I could just like go see the band live. You know what I mean? Like come up with something original. It's not bad to play a cover here and there. Like I've played a cover at my first concert, Depression and Obsession, sorry, by X. So I don't find it bad to play a cover, but when that's like a band's whole shtick and they're trying to seem like they're like all hot shit or whatever, it's just like nah, you're not really doing much. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Because
No, go ahead. I'm
our
listening.
scene, yeah, our scene actually has the originality that I think a lot of people around here are lacking.
Ooh-wee. Hey, we going in this episode. We going in, boy. We going in. Um,
Hey, full shade, full shade.
he said, no, ain't no,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
ain't no shade. But no, I would say to the audience, like, TrippleSix is you know, even though I call him by his government name at certain times, but still we're gonna keep it
Mhm.
we're gonna keep it on, you know, on that. But um TrippleSix is really like as what people say seasoned in the NWI scene, especially in our community season. Um, I want to talk about if you don't mind, talk about some
Mhm.
recent projects. Um,
Okay.
Till Dev, 666 Till Dev.
Mhm.
Like that that right there. How do you feel about that one? Because you know, we're not just here to talk about just the recent one. Of course, we promoting that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want to talk about all type of, you know, give them all type of specs of your, you know, your production work and everything.
So 666 Till Death was a project that I wrote when I had just went through a really bad breakup and I was not doing okay mentally because I struggle with mental illnesses
Mm-hmm.
and music is where I like to vet that out. And that album I wrote in 2 days, I think it was 2 full days.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really every single song. I'm talking about what I was feeling at that exact moment.
Mm.
And for the production of that, it's an upgrade because the way that I do it, I always go into the studio trying to make a better song than I did the last time.
Mm.
And that's the way I looked at 666 Till Death. I wanted to be a better album than Notebook. And the reason it's all mostly sad music, there's only really like one kind of hype track, which is 666 Till Death. You know, that one's like kind of hype.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted it all to be sad because, you know, people normally would expect me to be screaming and making hype music. And I kind of had the mentality of what, like, well, now I'm just going to make sad music just to show that I can do everything.
Nice. Yeah, because that one for me, of course, you know, because I remember when I think it was what show? Oh, it was the Down the Rabbit Hole show, and
Hmm.
and it was right before I was going to shout out to the Closets Aristotle before I was going to his house, and
Yep.
because we had to do a studio session for one of the recent songs. Shout out to the Ricochet EP. You know, y'all go check that out.
Hmm.
But yeah, for recent songs. So recent song that we had did, and at the same time, I was just trying to do so much before the show because I was just like so excited. I was like, man, we got studio session and
Yeah.
all that stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember when, you know, Maury was like, hey, you gotta listen to some songs off, you know, off you know, his album. And I remember when I heard I'm Over It, I'm like, hey, what is this? I'm like, what? And you know, I told you what song, you know, it gave me the vibes of 95 to Infinity by Souls of Mischief. And it was just like that vibe right there, like it was just, and I didn't know that you could make beats. I didn't know none of that. At the same time, it was like it was still the thing of getting to know you more at that time. Of course, I know you more now than at that time. But when I heard them tracks and then RIP to myself and all that, I said, hey, I need a beat. Like I need a beat. Like, you know, and all that. Cause it's like that, it's that vibe. Like, even though because some people, some things that might be sad, you know, or what they quote as sad, it might be chill to me because of the production and the instruments. Cause you know, I'm so like music, like sound. So like the level of instruments and the production with the, you know, with the instruments and the beats and stuff like that, it was like, wow. And it's like, you know, and seeing what you was doing on those type of beats right there led me to like see like, okay, like, you know, because, you know, I'm not a person that is, you know, I would say judgmental by any means as far as like collaborating who I should work with, but it was like it showed me I knew that you could work with, you know, my type of beats or whatever like that as well, you know, so you had some type of versatility, you know, and like that first introduction to that, I think it was I think it was right when you put it out. And I'm not gonna lie, the next day I was on it. I cut that thing on YouTube. I was rolling it back. I was like, yeah, I like this. And like,
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Like, how did you start like making beats? Because like you already had experience playing the drums and everything, but how did you start actually putting together like beats and stuff like that?
So I always tend to forget this, but I was making beats since I was like a little kid on my grandma's iPad on GarageBand. Like, even though, you know, obviously they weren't good at the time and I don't have those beats anymore, I've been making them since then. And all of those were actually mostly like kind of lo-fi vibe. So like that style for I'm Over It and RP to Myself has been something I've had under my belt for a really long time, but it's taken me a really long time to perfect it like I have. Well, not perfect it, I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but it's taken me a really long time to get good with it. And something just like whenever I like go through things in my life, I kind of one up in my music. And I don't even plan for it. It just kind of happens naturally. It's like I grow to another level in my music without even thinking about it. And that's kind of what that was. Like I just started to cook. I was feeling bad and, you know, I was looking for beats that I wanted for those vibes because I was trying to find it. And this was before I really knew you. And I couldn't just be like, yo, send me a beat, because I knew you could have cooked something up like that. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just make it myself because nobody else can really promise or like deliver on it. And they say you rap best on your own beats. You know what I mean?
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So I wanted to, those two songs were really like my test at seeing if I could even do it. And the fact that I pulled it off so well made me like glad in myself, because I was like, yeah, I know I can fucking do all like any type of style, like, you know, any versatile style, because I like pushing myself with music. I like hearing something, and if I can't do it, I'm gonna challenge myself to learn how to do it eventually.
Nice. How, as far as like, you know, because of course me and you got stuff that, you know, is you know, soon to come out and stuff like that. That we got. But as far as producing for other people, that's that like projects is already, stuff is already out. describe that. Like describe who you produced for that's out that's out right now, like different like beats and stuff, and also engineering.
So I've produced only one track from Moy, and that's Pissing Blood 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've also mixed Pissing Blood and Still Bloom.
Right.
And so whenever I write beats for somebody else, it's only been you and Moy, really.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wrote a song, the first song that me and my brother Coach made together is called Three Stripe Life. Really old song. I don't really like it anymore, but it's history, so I leave it up.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that beat in thought of Alex in mind because I think of what other people can hit on. If I write a beat and I don't think like you're gonna sound good on it, I'm not gonna send it to you. You know what I mean?
Fact. Fact.
So I try to think of the people that I'm working with, and I'll write a song based off of the vibe that they give me musically.
Yes. 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 Um, Tell me about um as far as your association or being on the label of Skeleton
Mhm.
Partnership, More Boy Chips Ahoy's label.
Yeah, so you said earlier, and I think I've mentioned that I played drums. Uh, I played for 11 years,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really what got me and Moy together at first. Is he wanted a drummer
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know if you've seen Ghostman, like his live performances. He plays with the band, and that's what Moy kind of. I'm not saying like he was copying it, but he
Mm-hmm.
wanted that type of vibe for it. You know what I mean? So he asked me if I could play drums for him. And so I started with that. And then Skeleton Partnership is Moy's band, but it's also the label.
Yeah.
So with me being the drummer, I was already technically in it. But then Moy asked me one day, he was like, "Do you want to be in Skeleton Partnership for your own solo music?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, why wouldn't I want to be in it?" Like, of course, why wouldn't I want to be in it?
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me how you like, as far as like so far, like with these recent releases, how you like feel
Mhm.
like about like being on the label, because that's something like a lot of people look at that as like an upgrade or like a next level step, because you
Mhm.
know um from just playing the drums and all of a sudden then having your own solo music, as far as a label like that, and getting
Yeah.
extra push and all that stuff and everything, like how
Mhm.
does it how good does that feel?
It feels really nice, especially because the fact that like you and me are working and like we plan on getting CDs and cassettes and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that for
Yeah.
this upcoming release. That's kind of like it's a tease, but I would not be able to do that myself. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's cool that I'm in like a label because I know it's not like a full label,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like a label that's full of art people, and it's not like a sell your soul label. It's like a
Yeah.
promote your art, like show people what you're doing type label.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I like the vibe of Skeleton Partnership. I like what it's going for. I like the direction it's at. And that's why I want to represent it. Every single release I have on
Mm-hmm.
Apple Music, it says Skeleton Partnership on the label, because even if not all of those releases are on Skeleton Partnership, if I can promote Skeleton Partnership with my music and get more fans to that,
Mm-hmm.
that's still cool. That's still cool to me.
Exactly. Nice.
Gotta help both ways.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I've been able to be on the stage with the band and everything like that. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
on more than one occasion, and it's definitely exciting. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like it's definitely like exciting. Like the Down in the Rabbit Hole show, like
Hmm.
like that was like
That was,
it was a movie. Like it was a
yeah.
movie, because like at the same time, in the honor of being like the hype man at that time, because Grim, he couldn't come, Grim,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Shout out Grim.
yeah, shout out Grim, and to be able to like be on that stage and just assist, like the camaraderie was amazing. And like,
Yeah,
you know,
you can feel the presence too.
oh yeah, it's strong. It's
Mhm.
super strong. And it's genuine, it's open, it's freedom. And it's just
Yep.
like, you know, when you performing, like how when you performing, you know, both solo and with the band, like how are you, how is your forget me, how is your personal like feeling, personal energy journey, like experience seeing that just from that though your own point of view?
I'm gonna go into a little bit of backstory. So when
Okay.
I was in high school, or even in middle school, I was in concert band, and no, I wasn't like the traditional band kid, but I was in band because I was a music kid.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of a difference. Um, so I did marching band in high school. I did percussion ensemble in high school. I did jazz band. I did all that fun stuff. I'd performed in I don't even remember the Colts Stadium. I don't remember what it's called. Lucas Oil Stadium. I
Okay.
performed in there in front of like a bunch of people. And when you're playing drum sets for like a marching band, if you fuck up, like the whole show is gonna be off. So when I go into these performances, I'm like kind of trained like for performing all from my marching band days.
Mhm.
So I kind of use that for performing because obviously I get anxious before performing. You know, everybody gets the oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm about to go up type thing. But
yeah.
I'm also like I know I'm gonna kick ass up there. I'm just gonna give another good performance. So I always try to subside that with the fact that I know I'm gonna go up there and kick ass.
Nice, nice, nice. I remember, I would say, because next month, as far as November 2021, the people that's
Hmm.
watching, um, is gonna mark a year of me and T, I guess receiving the open arms of the NWI, and I say that with so much passion. Woo!
Yeah.
I say that with so much passion, but
Yep.
like it's gonna be like a year anniversary, and it's just like coming up pretty soon. And I remember, as far as our first official show performing there,
Hmm.
because me and T, we are partners, everything, all that stuff like that. As far as like the Retro Records label, and then his own sub label of Retro Records, which is Station T Factory. Shout out to T.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Shout out T.
yeah, and it was the Live in Peace, Mike's Live in Peace. Shout out to Mike over Mike's Live in
Hmm.
Peace album release party, and that was our first, and it was February of this year. I will not forget, and it was his release party, and that was our first time actually performing, because we had performed at open mics where it's just the staff there, where it's just
Yeah.
where it's just the staff or like a couple of people there, little to none people. We
A
didn't care.
few, yeah, a few here and there, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
still a performance. You're still getting your name out there no matter what.
exactly. Because whether it's 5, 10,
Hmm.
10,000, 1,000, we're gonna perform either way. Like it don't matter.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
and like thing about it was, it just for me personally, I've never seen a show where it has a variety. Like some people, oh, it's just hip hop. Some people, it's just
Hmm.
metal, or just trap. It's just rock. It's just indie.
Yeah.
Just so I I had to perform third. I think it was like wait, was it third or whatever it was. I know I performed right ahead of you,
Hmm.
and the magnitude on that when I hit that stage, and
Hmm.
afterwards, then when you came on, then it was because I think it was I think I'm wondering. No, it was Moy after you. It's just the whole magnitude of the show put together. It's like an all-star cast to me, like a all
Yeah.
like a starting lineup in a basketball game to me. And it's like from being a part of these like shows. And I remember when I first because that was my first time ever seeing you perform, and it was just like
Hmm.
that variety, like it blended, like I look at a performance as if, you know, you're preparing the energy for the next man. It's not like a competition of who was better than who. Is you're
Yeah,
preparing the energy for the next
exactly.
man. I want to be able to, who's ever after me, I want to be able to give them the energy, all the energy they need. So then, you know,
Yep.
you can feel what I feel. We can do the best to make the show great. And like, you
Mm.
know, like it's just how as far as your experience in shows, how do you personally feel about, like, you know, I would say, you know, these shows being so much of a variety?
It's basically the way that I look at it is exactly basically what you said. I like the fact that it's a variety, but it all blends together so well.
Yes.
That's the thing about it. Because, you know, obviously full trap shows and full rock, full metal shows are amazing. But when you have that variety, you have the crowd like on the edge of their seats because they don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
And especially for the fact that like artists like me and Moy, you know, we obviously have aggressive music where, you know, it's like mosh, hype, stuff like that. But we also have other types as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we can, you know, start, or the way that I like to do my sets is I start hype, you know, the first few songs hype, show them like my presence, and then I'll like take it back, like
Mm-hmm.
get sad or, you know, just do whatever genre I want to, and then I'll end it off with hype because I want the next person to have a fresh hype crowd for them
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
want it to blend well. Obviously, if it's gonna be like, say you were going after me at a show, this is just a hypothetical situation,
Mm-hmm.
and you were starting with something on the lighter side, I would want to end with something that's lighter vibes so the crowd would be kind of trained for that almost. You know what I mean? It's
I get what
it's
you said.
yeah, it's kind of like I think of my set, I think of our whole set as just like the entire show. We're all just like we're making the show one person at a time
Mm-hmm.
because with marching band it's part of a show, you know, there's like imagery with the marches, there's imagery with that. So that's the way that I break down our concerts is I see it as like a big show almost.
Mm-hmm.
Because we put on a lot of like entertainment for the people in the crowd. I like sometimes when I'm at the show, I wish I wasn't a performer because I would like to be sitting back just watching that shit sometimes.
Boy, you ain't lying. You ain't
For real.
lying. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, it's like, um, just I would say seeing people like reactions, like whether they jumping, they screaming, you know,
Yep.
they hype, you know, they mosh pitting, and they
Yeah.
like they, you know, crying, like
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, man, like, and I look at it as a training ground for, you know, when we start going on tours. Like I look at that as a training
Yep.
ground. Because think
Yeah,
about it is,
exactly.
you know, to the people that's listening, listen. Think about it is, I believe you, I'll say like this. I believe you guys, I'm just pertaining to before this when I first, you know, came.
Hmm.
I have never performed a 45-minute, let alone 25-minute set. Never.
Yep.
I was used to just, okay, get your couple of songs in, and
Yep.
then and then after that, be gone. No, you
Yep.
guys perform, you guys are conditioned to
Yep.
perform these amounts, you know,
Yep.
weekly or every month. I'm like,
Yep.
you know, and I look at this as personal training station because it's like it so like, and it's also the opportunity for people as in our age bracket to be able to you know, I would say be taken seriously as artists and to be able to
Yeah.
like, you know, to like, I feel like this is like a whole training station, you know,
Hmm.
personally for me. And also for, you can say as the whole, you know, as a whole spectrum as well, because, you know, you got to get it in while you know, you know, can get the experience. So then later on, you know, it might be like a you know, Sad Boys tour or whatever,
Yeah.
like in the you know, Skeleton Partnership tour, or whatever in the future.
Yep.
So it's like you really get an experience, and I've heard some
Yep.
people even say like from the shows, like, man, like I've never seen a show like this ever, like never in my life. And I heard it. I heard it. And I'm telling you, like, that's the same feeling. Like I never ever, man. It's in
Yeah.
every show is different. Every show is different. You know.
Yep. Yeah, it's not always the same thing. We don't recycle things. We always come up with something new, but we don't speak about it. That's the cool thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about this scene. We're so creative that we can manage to make each show different, even without like discussing it beforehand.
Mm-hmm. It's like one of those mysteries. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you got to come to the show to actually get that. You got to actually come to the
Yeah.
show. You can't just be like, you like some people was like they promote the mess out of a show, but it'd be horrible. Not saying that we shouldn't promote. We promote to the fullest, but some people they might underestimate the is what they consider a small show, but that small show big.
Yeah. Exactly. And even if a show doesn't have a lot of people, if you're making a good impression on the people there and they go and show it to their friends and then their friends go show it to their friends and stuff like that, that's how you get big. Even if it's not a big venue, even if it's just the small coffee house, shout out Sip.
Shout out.
For real, shout out. That's just our humble beginnings. That's the way that I look at it. We're in the humble beginning stage. And if you're doubting that already, then you're not going to get past it. Because, every rapper, every artist started at this stage. You don't just make a song and then boom, you're famous playing, showing out shows or selling out shows. You start at small stuff like this. Some people are performing on the street without like actual sets and stuff like that. That's how you get your name heard. You know what I mean? It's not all about the big venues and the big crowds. It's about the memorability of your performance and your shows and your songs.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're nailing really well.
I agree. Cause like I said, that's why I said training station, because I feel like personally, a lot of people, they just want to go, like they just really want to go to the stage of, oh yeah, I got how many reviews on my video, or I'm about to get signed. Like, no, like it don't work like and at the same time, it's like to be able to appreciate when you get to that certain level, taking the steps and what you learn, instead of wanting to become an overnight success, you'll actually gain the knowledge, so you'll be longevity. Longevity is more essential, like a home cooked meal, than a fast food kitchen.
Yeah. And like with longevity and stuff like that and staying consistent, that's the way I like staying consistent with my releases. That's how you actually gain people to support your movement. When they actually see you doing shit and they see you getting better and they see you growing, that's when people check you out. Because this isn't to throw shade at anybody who knows me, but I'll release something and then I know people won't check it out until I make the next project and it's better than the last one. And it's kind of this weird thing of people don't really check out what you're doing until you start succeeding. And obviously that's a whole different subject, but with longevity and stuff like that, there are obviously people who get into the music scene by luck of the draw, industry plants, stuff like that. They may get a big crowd at once, but you look at them in the next 5 years, where are they going to be? But when you have the history and an old crowd, like an OG crowd, your hometown supports you, and then you're building more every day, that's where you actually see people succeeding and getting where they need to be, and for a long term.
I'm gonna jump in on this one.
Yeah, you're good.
But no, we this is good. I say, to jump in on this one, I say this. As far as the succeeding part, I sound like my shout out to Sunny Ski. I sound like my homeboy Sunny Ski. I sound like when I'm about to say this phrase. It's a thin line between love and hate.
Yep.
The thin line. Because when you starting out and you grinding with with the small fan base, which is the most loyal fan base. I don't care nobody say. To me, the small fan base is the most loyal, because the bigger fan base, the people that just want to check out and they can leave any moment, unless you establish that cult following. But what I'm saying is, a fan base, an artist that succeeds at a level of a home cooked meal will be able to appreciate, and that overall message will be made plain. I this is a touchy subject, because at the end of the day, you can never be good enough for people that's just consume your music like a microwave. You can never be good enough to them. So I would suggest, if everybody listening here, I would suggest that if you're gonna do music, do it because you love it. Don't do it as a get rich quick scheme. Because is this right here.
I was actually going to bring that up. A lot of people look at music, they look at the people succeeding, and they think, hey, it must be an easy way for me to get famous and make millions, right? No. If you're making music for the want to be rich and the greediness and like thinking you're going to blow up, you're not going to get anywhere unless you have real emotion behind your music.
And also, the people that don't pay attention to your music now, and then later on they do because you didn't excel and all this, those same people, they are fans without noticing. They're fans, but because a lot of people just want to see what you got going on, because there's a thin line between love and hate. Once you get to that certain success, people will act like they love you, but then if you drop dead the next day, or if you fall and you gotta get yourself back up, it's a teeter-totter. So as far as I would say, as us as independent artists, we have to cherish each support factor, each person that we can daily, because these people I understand. As an artist, you're depending on people to view your music and to understand and to see your reflection, and you gotta understand, supporters that really like deal with you, that really like understand you, really like listen to you, those people have to be the most appreciated. You shouldn't never take your eyes off the people because you could lose them in a heartbeat.
Exactly. And those are the people that actually listen to your lyrics. That's another thing. People will listen to your music and say they fuck with it, but they might not actually be listening to your message. They'll just be like, hey, it's catchy. He flowed well on this. It sounds good. But your true supporters are the ones that are listening to your message and are actually like getting what you're saying in your music. And you can't lose that, because once you do, you lost your foundation.
Then also, I would say this. Certain people, I'm gonna be honest, to the people that's listening, certain people, the music scene is just not for you. I'm just gonna be honest. We're gonna be honest. We're not gonna, because you can't play with this. Because sometimes because really you gotta be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it and you might can't take what come along with. So I would say this: if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But if it is, because the independent artists, we gotta work harder. We gotta work harder.
Yep.
Like, I would say this because I'm really feeling this, and that's why I've been taking my time explaining this. I'm really feeling this. I'm really feeling this. Artists out there, if you got something, don't give up. Even though in a slight, if deep down, not even just deep down, I'm not talking about the ones that's just like the cocky ones that ain't got nothing. Like, I'm beyond that, ain't got nothing. I'm talking about the
Yep.
ones that got something and establishing and growing and getting results. Don't give up.
Yep.
Don't give up. Because you never know the feelings that you got right now towards whatever the struggle may be. Even as a starving artist, that struggle is your hunger. I don't ever want to lose my hunger from you. I don't care how many, how much I keep getting results and keep going, going higher and higher up the ladder. I don't ever want to lose that hunger, because once you get comfortable, once you get comfortable, then your music is gonna sound like that comfortability. It's like, oh, I just drop anytime I want. No, grind. So don't give up. Don't give up. I'm speaking as a person that's doing this daily. I'm not out here
every single day.
I'm not out here, saying this and then like I'm not doing nothing. I'm not trying to reach a goal. No, I am. We are. We are.
Yep. On top of, like, I had an open mic yesterday. Shout out Mike Over. I always go to his open mics. But the day before that, I was actually at Intel studio recording music till 4 a.m, and I only got like an hour or two of sleep. I'm like, this is my life. I do this every blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, because then I'm not gonna have, like, that's just taking away from my effort. That's the thing. Will be there to support you, but then they'll also be like, well, if it doesn't go through, you should
Wait,
do
can you
this.
repeat
Or,
that
they
again?
always have.
You went out for like 5 seconds. You said, till 1 o'clock until you said 1 o'clock in the morning. Start back from right there. You went out for like 5
Really?
seconds. Yeah.
That's weird. I was in the studio till 4 a.m. With Intel. But basically I was talking about how people are always like, they're always going to doubt you. They're always going to have some like little side comment, because like obviously I have my own job and I'm making ends meet, but people will always tell me, they're like, you should get another job so you have more spending cash. And I'm like, so you want me to drop the music that I'm doing, just drop my dreams just to work a 9 to 5? Fuck no. Like, I have my life set up and I'm content with being in the place that I'm at right now, because I know it's the beginning steps. You're not going to get anywhere without being in your starting phase. All these other people that made it, they had a phase like this too.
Right.
You don't just make music and then you instantly blow up the next day. It's time, it's going to take, it can take years. Just really depends on how well you advertise. Music more than just make your song do it. It's like music videos, all that stuff.
Bro, you went out, bro. Is somebody calling you, bro?
Again, nah, I don't know what happened. I just turned off my Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But
Can you go back to you say
what
the
did it cut
market?
off at?
It cut off at like
Marketing. Yeah. Okay.
marketing.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I was saying, my Wi-Fi is so bad here, but I was saying music is so much more than just making music. You got to market, you got to advertise, you got to music videos, you got to have a message. There's a lot more than just making music before you can actually make it. And there's going to be a starving phase because it's all your learning phase. I think I've said this once in this song. I say, is this just a test running through my eyelids? Because I believe the point that we are all at right now is the test phase. Life is throwing shit at us one at a time to see if we're going to keep going. And it's testing us to see if we're actually about it. And as long as, like you said, as long as you're hungry for it, as long as you got that hunger, that's going to show if you're going to make it or not. And everybody has their own term for make it. You know, my definition for make it is having a big crowd to listen to my music, that, you know, they can have an outlet and all that stuff in my music where I can just sustain myself off of that. It doesn't have to be, you know, I don't have to be famous. I don't have to be anything like that. I just want to be able to make music and live off of that.
Facts. Because like, I feel like, see, for me personally, this is what I say, and shout out to the viewers and the listeners, you know, of the podcast. You know, we appreciate y'all. We highly appreciate y'all.
Yep.
We go. I'm gonna leave you guys on this message right here. This is what Lil L. This is my opinion. You know, this is how I feel about that term, make it. And listen deeply, because what I'm about to say might turn a lot of heads. But I'm going in. My personal opinion of making it is when you on your deathbed and you done made your last piece of work and say, I did all I could do. Because it's not the glorifying of you being your deathbed, is that I tried so hard and I worked so hard on this passion repeatedly because I love it, and I didn't get successful. I didn't get complacent. And afterwards, when you at your last project and your hands getting brittle, you can barely walk, you could barely talk because you put in the work and you didn't stop. Then you look back and say, man, I done made all this work. Some might not even be released yet. I made all this work. I didn't gave it all I got. That's my solution. Of course, I want to make, you know, of course, I want to make, you know, of course, like money somewhere. I don't have to work a 9-to-5 job no more. I don't have to have part-time. Of course. You think I want to be working for these people for long? No. You know,
Fuck nah.
I agree on that. As I honestly agree. Yeah, performing in different places, being able to perform and going tour, all that stuff, right? I'm not looking for fame. I'm looking to inspire and also live the dreams that I want. The dreams that I want to pursue and that I'm going to pursue. So that's what I say is making it. It ain't for me. It ain't no a whole bunch of money in the bank. It ain't no that I want to know is when I done made that last project I could physically make, and afterwards I can you know, I can say the job is done. So
I get what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing this music stuff for my life. I really, like, since I've been a kid, I've been doing this all my life. I really realized that, like, I'm making it. You know, I know that I was put here to do this, and that's something that I'm confident in. Because I struggle with being bossed around. Like, I've worked plenty of jobs, and I don't like most of the people at the jobs, because there's always the people that think just because you're working for them they can take advantage of you and stuff like that, and that's something that I can't wait to completely eliminate out of my life, because I want to be working for myself. I want to make the music work for me, I guess is the way that I would want to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Because my music is my work. That's what I work on every day. It's my work. Even if it's, people see it as a hobby or whatever. For me, that's my life. It's my work,
Mm-hmm.
So once I can get, like, as you were saying, that's the definition for me. The way that I look at what you said, I think that's like, in that situation, that's when I know that I'm like gonna be fully happy with everything I made. Because like I was thinking about like my life in the future, and I was like, am I gonna keep TrippleSix up? Like, is TrippleSix gonna be a long-term thing? And I'm like, yeah, even if say I get another solo thing and that gets off more than TrippleSix, that's still my history. That's still me, and that's still time. That's still emotion, and I'm not gonna let that go anywhere, obviously. So obviously, I want to stay with the stuff that I'm doing now. I want to stay with TrippleSix, but a lot of people have to think about the longevity of their music and the stuff they're doing now, their art. Do you see yourself doing this in the future when you're older?
Are you asking me?
And that's
Oh,
no,
I'm sorry.
like
I'm sorry. I thought you was asking.
no.
No.
I'm just saying, like, do you really like? If
Oh,
you
I know
want
what
to
you're
be a
saying.
musician, do you see yourself doing this when you're 50, 60? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gotta ask yourself
Because
that.
I've had people tell me like the reason they don't have as many songs is because they don't know that many words, and I'm like, you don't have to know that many words to make different songs. Like it's just weird.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm actually gonna kind of expose him. Shout out my boy Coach. I told him we should make I told him we should make a 50-song album as a joke, and he was like, I don't even know that many songs. And I was like, bro, I have more than 50 songs already. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I made a song when I was sick with COVID. I had a really bad case of COVID last July that almost killed me.
Mm-hmm.
And the morbid fact about the song Zombie, that was the song that was recorded when I was sick with COVID, is I thought that was going to be my last song. That was kind of the situation you were talking about, where I was like, I thought COVID was going to kill me. And I was like, you know what? If this shit's going to take me out, I'm going to fucking like release something just to say, fuck it. You know what I mean? Kind of like my way of battling it, but also like saying, even though I'm still battling shit, I'm not going to turn down my craft. Because the fact that I recorded a scream rap track while I was sick with COVID kind of just blows my mind, but
Yeah.
I did it.
Right.
And that's more than what most people could say. They'll get sick or get a cold and then they'll like stop writing for like months, or because they're like, oh my God, I don't think I could do it. Or then there's people that like, I know some people that have done this where they would write music, they were consistent, and then they take a little break and then they never go back to it. Like, I take breaks here and there from my music because I need to keep my creative process, going all the time. And if I'm constantly using it, I'm not going to have any more. So my body just like forces me to take like natural breaks. There'll be obviously days where I'm not working on music or anything, but it's really like, to go back to what we were talking about before, if you're staying like consistent and if you really know this is for you, it's a big, like, it's a long journey ahead of you. Like for music, it's a long journey. It's not just you make a few songs and you get famous. There's a lot to it. And even when you do, quote unquote, get famous or make it, there's still a lot more to it then. And we haven't hit that. So I don't even know how that is yet. That's just learning. We're just going to learn.
It's always a learning
The
journey.
way I see it. Yep, it's just I see the world as blown up school, and I don't know if it's like a kid thing to say, but like all you're doing is learning. The world is a giant school. It's not, you know, you leave school thinking, oh, I'm not going to have to deal with that again. But no, you're learning every single day. You're learning new things, even if you don't think about it.
I like that. I like that. You said the world is a giant school. I like that. I ain't never heard that before. But we get
That's the way
exclusive. Oh, NCM. We get exclusive. You ain't never heard bars like this ever, except for NSYNC era. Boy, you should write that in the bar. Boy, you said the girls and giant. I like that. I never heard that before. I never ever heard that before. I never heard that before. I never heard. That's fire. That's fire. You should
Thank you.
just put that in your note. Be like, hey, I don't use this as a bar. Said this on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Well, hey, you know, I appreciate you for coming. You know, hey,
Yep.
y'all go check out the new project. Tell them what it is again.
Sad Boys Inferno Inc.
Sad Boys Inferno Inc. Man, hey, we appreciate you. You know, we glad you came on today. We had a good conversation, good episode.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and you know, shout out to the NWI. This is the NSYNC era. Lil L signing out.
Yep.
All right.